Okay, why don't we jump right into our first topic? That was so much fun shooting that video 2 weeks ago or whenever it was when I was over in Taiwan. Where is our... Oh, do we not... Is it not like in the doc?
The video itself?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. No, I don't mean the video. I mean, oh yeah, there we go. Okay, Taiwanese media appears to have picked up in a big way the video that we recorded in Guanghua Digital Plaza.
Super cool place.
We visited a random, if you haven't seen it, we visited just a random computer shop in the mall. We made our decision based on who had the coolest PC in front of it.
It was pretty cool, so it was a good choice.
And we asked them to build us a PC for $5,000 to see what they would come back with and how it compared to an equally priced system from Main Gear, also with hardline liquid cooling. The system they gave us was absolutely sick. Like, the builder freaking nailed it in pretty much every way. The only thing that I would say that they didn't quite get right was the memory configuration. And I'm very disappointed about this because Gary from the lab pointed out that in the video, when I'm troubleshooting the memory speed, that it won't apply Expo. We apparently cut out the part where I said, hey, AMD has trouble running 4 DIMMs at maximum speed, so I doubt Expo is going to work. So a number of people thought that I didn't understand what the issue was. I did, but it wasn't really the point of the video. The point of the video was that the solution was to pull out 2 sticks, or ideally the solution would have been to configure the system, if you really want 64 gigs of memory, with a 2x32 gig kit in the first place. So I stand by everything I said in the video. I still dock some marks for that, because I would not want to run a Ryzen 7000 system at 3600 megatransfers per second. But it's also, it's not that it was broken. It's just that there was a performance penalty to configuring it that way. Everything else about the system. Dude, did you watch the video by any chance?
I watched the whole thing, actually. It was great.
Did you see how he packed the GPU, or original cooler? He put every screw back in exactly the place it would need to be so that when it's time to reassemble that thing,
super easy.
I'm ready to do it. I have never seen that before. In fact, I'm trying to think back, because we secret shopped some competitors like way back in the day when I was at NCIX. And we got some water-cooled systems in. I don't even think they included the original coolers. Like,
yeah, I doubt it.
Even like all the accessories and manuals and stuff like that, you can't take that for granted when you buy a fully integrated system necessarily. But he included everything just like the system would have been if I was an enthusiast custom builder and I built the system myself and I had all the pieces that came with it. I was so impressed by the build. Rather than trying to bring the PC back to Canada, though, which would have been a chore, we decided to give it away to the first person that recognized us on the street, which wound up being a Taiwanese junior high student. At least one media source did interview him, and he said that in addition to gaming, he wants to use the new computer to edit videos and experiment with LLMs. This wasn't in the video because we had wrapped by that point, but we went to the bakery that we were headed to, and then on our way back, he was still on the corner, and his mom was there. And she made an offhand remark about how he better use it for studying, which I thought was the funniest thing ever. Not just gaming. You also better use it for studying. So good.
Of course. Such a classic mom comment.
One of the shop's social media accounts posted about the video saying it was around 2 a.m., so I got him back.
That's okay. If you watch the video, that's actually a fun close the loop right there.
He because there was such a high level of personalized service. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it is, but like here in the Western, in Western culture, I don't actually like giving my phone number to people when they ask for it, because hotels will ask for your phone number and then they'll like text you incessantly, and like I'm worried they'll send me offers and stuff. Yeah. Whereas with this guy, I didn't even mind. He's like, yeah, I'll add you online, which means he doesn't need to have my phone number. It's just like a social media.
You could just delete them.
Yeah, it's just like a messaging app, and the conversation was so smooth and just. I really
Clearly
liked
there
it.
for transactions.
Yeah, it didn't feel skeezy. It just felt like, it didn't feel like he was collecting my data.
He asked you if you opened it and set it up because he's probably curious, like, are you happy with it? Does it work? Those types of things. That's
where I was getting to. Because he had me on an instant messaging app, he messaged me at 2:30 in the morning, the night that I took delivery of the system, being like, hey, like, is it going great? And I'm like, brother, it's 2:30 in the morning.
To be fair, and I think you pointed this out in the video as well, if I bought that system on that day, I would probably still be up at 2:30 in the morning.
And I did tell him, I don't know if this made it into the cut, but I did tell him I had like a gaming event this weekend, and that's why I like needed it this weekend. Like he put on the gas to get that system to me because, I mean, Yvonne asked him, I don't know if this made it into the cut either.
Custom parts.
But yeah, he's building like 3, 4, 5 systems a day in there. And that system is not the kind of system that you build 4 of them in a day. I don't care what kind of PC building god you are. Like that takes time. You could build maybe a couple of those in a day if you're really good. Anyway, so I got him back because this is from the shop's post. It was around 2 a.m. and suddenly I was bombarded with phone notifications. I wondered what earth-shattering event had happened. Oh God, it turns out that guy I met is a huge deal. I even apologized to him and said I didn't recognize him.
Oh, did he send you another message online?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. It's so funny.
I didn't know this part. That's funny.
Yeah, no. Here's what he said. I mean, I don't care, man. Like, it doesn't. I don't need the ego stroking.
Well, part of it is that video wouldn't have worked if he did recognize you.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So
he
it's
didn't.
Actually great that he didn't recognize you.
Yeah, no. And again, that didn't make it into the cut, but I talked about that. I talked about how important it was and how much fun it was being able to go incognito again for a change. Like. It ruins everything.
Yeah. When any of this type of content that we try to do is rough.
If people are just like, hey, Linus, well, then you're not seeing what the shopping experience is supposed to be. You're seeing how
that doesn't mean to hide it, by the way.
Yeah.
Because often we can tell anyways.
Yeah.
And it's the whole point is that it's supposed to be an authentic shopping experience.
Yes. And so it was really fun to be able to go incognito, man. It was great. Anyway, hold on. So I did message him after I took delivery and I said, the system's great. I made a review video and I'm going to upload it in a week or 2, but I didn't tell him who I was. I didn't give him any context for it. He goes, oh, really? Can you send it to me? I want to post it on my Facebook. And the number of like conspiracy theories in the comments about how like, oh, fake. Your bullshit detector's not working. So you need to recalibrate. The guy just didn't know.
I don't think there was that many of those comments.
There's enough. And I'm speaking to those people. Just chill, just relax. So I go, okay, I'll send it when I'm done. He goes, thanks, dude. I go, my video's ready. I sent it to him. He goes, shit, dude. 100 people is telling me this. Sorry that I really didn't recognize you. And I go, no, it's better that way. Thanks for the amazing system. You made the young man who won it very happy. Everyone is saying, WTF, man, you don't know him. And he said, thanks for your trust, which I thought was really cool because he really did, in good faith, build me the best system for my money.
Oh, it was killer.
I didn't even compare to like what I could have gotten just buying the parts on Newegg and assembling it myself, because I don't even really feel like I have to. Knowing sort of approximate, no, that was a good value. It was a good value. And if they took a little bit of profit margin, then they should.
I know a few people that live in Taiwan, and I've heard that it's actually pretty common to have people like that build your system because they warranty it really well.
Right.
And he even said in his video, like, yeah, my warranty's a year or whatever, but if you have problems in 2 or 3 years, just talk to me.
Awesome.
Super cool.
Trust me, bro, guarantee. And you know what? I actually trust him.
Yeah.
Because I've said 100 times, a warranty is only as good as the willingness to fulfill it. That is just a fact. And even though he seemed legitimately confused when I asked for an invoice, I'm not even kidding. He's like, oh, yeah, I get it. He literally pulled out a pen and paper.
And just like wrote it?
To write me an invoice for the system. Like it wasn't even itemized or anything. I'm like, you obviously have no system for this. And this is like not a thing you do, very clearly. But frankly, just based on the interaction, my level of trust with him is extremely high. And I believe that if that young man who won the system were to show up there and like say, hey, there's a problem with this, I'm sure he would deal with it.
Yeah.
100%.
Chewy, by the way, said that he did follow through. He posted it on his Facebook.
Nice. And but he says, actually, okay, yeah. Okay, I hope you get some really great business from this. He goes, thanks so much. I hope it isn't too late to subscribe to you now. Yeah, of course not. Have a good night. He goes, keep in touch. If you need me, I'll be here. Trust me, bro. By the way, can I cut part of your video? I was thinking to post on TikTok. So, you guys will have to go check out his TikTok. I guess he's going to do that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, what is it? Do we know?
I basically just said, sure, just add some of your own thoughts, reaction video, go for it. And then he goes, yeah, hey, the news wants to put it on TV. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So, anyway, I apologize to him. After watching the video, I'm grateful he agreed with me on how particular I am about the product. I did agree. And man, I don't think I have built some good systems myself. I've seen some really nice showcase builds at trade shows and stuff like that. I've hung out with... He
could absolutely do trade show quality builds.
I've hung out with 100%. Very experienced modders, like Bod and Rob from BS Mods and stuff like that. Did I say Bod and Rob?
I don't know.
Bob and Rod from BS Mods. I think that his bend precision was on par or better than the best that I've ever seen. And it's little details. That U-bend
crazy
was peak. Probably the only person that I would say, hands down, could probably do better would be Charles from Murderbox. And Charles would probably take 4 days to do the one bit. No offense, Charles, if you're watching this, I love you, man. But you know that what I'm saying is true. So I have so much respect, but yeah, he goes, the pipes must be neat and tidy. Taiwanese media described the video as an excellent representation of the country and its dedication to the world of technology. And I mean, honestly speaking, it's not like I've ever actually lived in Taiwan, but I've definitely spent a not insignificant amount of time there. Like overall, I've been there for probably like somewhere between a month and a couple of months. And I just have nothing negative to say. I love the people. I love Taiwan. It's a beautiful country. Super, super awesome. And it was because of my past experiences in Taiwan. Do you remember the first year we went when we left a tip in that restaurant?
Yeah, and didn't they try to give it back to you because they thought you forgot it or something?
They didn't just try to give it back. The lady in this just hole-in-the-wall mom and pop restaurant that we had no idea what it was. And it was not a significant amount. Honestly, if I'd realized because it was my first year there and we had a lot going on, if I'd realized how little I was leaving.
This was our first foreign trip. We weren't that used to currency conversion stuff. And
like we know, but like just weren't thinking about it. If I'd realized how little I was leaving, I would have left more. Like it was an insignificant amount of money. And like really just like keep the change kind of thing. Like it wasn't a big tip or anything, but we just left it and we were like, okay, thanks. Bye. Dude, she ran. I don't know if you remember this, but she ran.
I think I do.
A city block.
I don't fully remember.
She ran a block out of her store to return it to us and would not keep it. And look, you encounter one nice person somewhere. That doesn't tell you anything about a culture, right? But it's just been so consistent. And being in Taiwan, I believed, like I didn't want to make a video about getting ripped off by a little shop, right? Like if I'm trying to set a video up for success, that's not the narrative people want. That's not the outcome that I want. Of course, I would report honestly on whatever outcome I got, but I like to stack the deck in my favor, right? Like if I have a pretty good idea that a mega corporation that has a history of skeezy behavior is going to rip me off, then I know what the framing for my video is going to be, and I know that people aren't going to be too upset about that. Whereas if I'm in this mom and pop shop and I think they're probably going to rip me off. I don't want to set that up.
Yeah.
There's a chance it can happen. I think Keith could have given me a better deal on some things. Anyway, there's a chance that can happen, but that's not the narrative that I would write for the video if I could write it. So with all my experience in Taiwan before, I had so much confidence that I was going to get an awesome system that I wrote that intro comparing it to main gear with a pretty good idea in my mind
what the result was
that they were going to cream them.
I've spent a little over 3 months in Taiwan. I just did a quick little notepad math calculation. I feel safer in Taiwan than here. Taiwan is actually ranked the 3rd safest country in the world.
It feels safe.
Completely believe it.
Anyone, old man, young, vulnerable lady. I mean, we've walked sometimes like an hour in a given direction, like going out for noodles.
Through alleyways at 2 a.m.
I never feel unsafe. And it's not like they don't have societal challenges like anywhere. It's not like they don't have people with substance abuse or mental health problems or whatever the case may be. But I never felt unsafe there.
No. Everyone feels like they're on the same team.
And everyone's like, and sorry, to my point, like old men, young women, they're out all times, day and night, just walking and being alone.
You go down an alleyway and you end up just finding like cool coffee shops and stuff instead of getting sketched out. Like,
so that's a whole
totally
thing.
Different vibe.
That's a whole thing. Apparently, they like work really hard to make it so that little shops make sense.
Yeah, yeah. It results in a really cool vibe because no part of the city really feels the same, and you don't have like, oh, this one store takes up like an entire city block. It's like all these little ones, and in my opinion, it results in shops like the one that you're talking about, where you have this really specialized expertise. Like I remember going through that mall in, I think it was 2013, and finding like a store that just specialized in discs.
Nice.
Like CDs and DVDs and whatever else.
And
nice. It's like, the heck?
And to be clear, it's not like they don't have chains. I mean, you can literally hawk a loogie from one Family Mart to the next Family Mart to the next Family Mart to the next one. And you'll run out of loogies before you run out of Family Marts. Yeah. Same with 7-Elevens.
And then they have another one, I don't remember the name of it, that's more common in the South. They're just everywhere.
Oh, which one?
I don't remember the name of it. It's like a red and blue logo, whatever. Yeah. Basically the same thing.
Anyway, it was really cool to see the news media pick up on it. I had a ton of fun making that video. I would love to do more stuff like that. I need to find a way.
Those ideas, you can't flow them every single day.
Yeah, I know.
Be sick if you could.
I mean, with that said, I think we've had some videos lately that kind of deserved a little bit more attention, but didn't necessarily get it. I think we've definitely had some challenges kind of breaking out recently, but the way I see it is when everyone kind of, clues back in and is like, oh yeah, let's like watch LTT again. There's going to be a ton of really great videos to watch. So
the My Wi-Fi is better than yours video. Maybe the title and the thumbnail could have been different or something. I don't know, but that video was really good.
Yeah, that one's actually doing pretty solid. We just had some ones before that kind of struggled a little bit. I think that factory tour in Taipei deserves twice as many views. That was freaking awesome. The way that they gave us access to everything.
The GPU factory one?
Like, yeah, you really saw how a GPU gets manufactured. It was really cool. And they held back nothing. I love that kind of stuff.
That's really cool.
Yep. Power color tour.